Hey again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Prohaska Consulting 4 to 10 minute programmatic interview. Very special guest with us today, Dean Harris, who we've only known each other about 15 years or so, but your marketing and executive career spans, let's say to be fair, several decades.
That's true, far too long.
Yes, and so we're going to go over an entire arc and try to cram a lot into a few minutes here, but we're going to start with some early days when a lot of folks, I guess, in the quote-unquote digital space first knew of you as CMO, head of marketing of Vonage.
Right.
At the time, the largest spender, not just in the US, right, but globally.
I think we were the largest digital spender in the world. Right. And in part, the reason, and it wasn't, well, part of it was spend and part of it was the nature of the market at that time.
Yeah, crazy times, and you were going after a brand new market with a brand new product, and VoIP was this huge new thing, and you were disrupting the entire telco space.
Sure. I mean, digital was perfect for us for a variety of reasons. I mean, number one was there was a great alignment between our intended audience and broadband. Yeah. You needed broadband to use Vonage, so we were targeting broadband users, and that was useful. And the second thing is, the market was so soft that we could cut these incredible deals where we were paid on a performance basis, and subsequently it looked like we were. I mean, at one point we were up to almost 20 billion impressions a month. Wow. And that's a big number.
So one of the things we want to try to convey to the audience here is a little perspective on some of the challenges around digital marketing in general today. So we have a slide, and we'll probably cut to it here, talking about the four horsemen of the digital publisher apocalypse, where it's very, very hard, we think, to be a digital publisher today. When you throw in perhaps mobile as an overall challenge, holy cow, 75% of my traffic is in mobile at half the monetization. That's not a pretty chart. Ad blocking might be a challenge. Viewability might be a challenge. Fraud might be a challenge. Attribution could be an issue. There are more than four horsemen at play. Imagine, take us back to Vonage days when you guys were doing great branding with the whistle, and then also, as you said, a lot of smart CPA. Disposal and smarter attribution. What's that world like now versus what you had?
I mean, the world now obviously provides more data and more information, which would have been incredibly useful for us. We had a bit of an advantage because our impressions in many cases weren't wasted because we weren't paying for them until we got a sale. And in fact, not only we got a sale, but the sale had to sit for a month. And there were folks lining up who were willing to work under those circumstances. That's not the case anymore. Now, I mean, programmatic and RTB and the large exchanges didn't exist to the same extent as they did now, and that would have been an incredibly useful because it would have been a terrific source of new customers for us. But I think more data is useful. That being said, more data doesn't overcome bad creative or bad idea. And I think that one of the reasons that Vonage resonated, and perhaps some of the other stuff I've worked on over the years has resonated, is because we focus first on having an interesting selling idea.
Yeah. And it's the concept and then the story around that. So again, we don't want to discredit it and go too dwell on the past.
I don't want to discredit it either, but I mean, you've heard that there are basically two kinds of CMOs, and to be crude about it, there are poets and plumbers. And I would much prefer to be known as a poet rather than a plumber.
Yeah, but poets can understand a little of the plumbing and appreciate and have a team around them, right?
Of course.
But yeah, you want to have the poetry probably first in the message.
And I think now many people feel that if they understand the data, if they understand the metrics, if they understand all the data, they're going to feel more comfortable with their decision making. Yeah. But that being said, if the idea isn't interesting, and the creative doesn't cut through, all the great data and metrics in the world are not going to help.